The MVP of the 2007 Orange Bowl Classic is one of 4 players in Big South history with 1,000 points, 500 assists, and 200 steals. Let's hear it for Chris. He was very efficient in reaching 1,000 points. He used every one of his 129 games to get there. And he missed only 3 games in his entire career. His teams went 101-31 overall, 52-8 in Big South play, and those are great numbers. 12-0 in Big South tournament action. On a personal note, his probably greatest accomplishment, I don't know if he's very humble, I don't know if he was also my first color analyst when he was a senior here, so I know he's very proud of that work. And Chris also, if you know him, he's a terrific human being. He's a terrific dad. I had a chance to speak to Christopher, who's an absolute joy. And the lemonade, Christopher, was spot on, buddy. He steered me right. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's bring up our first Winthrop Hall of Fame inductee tonight, Chris Gaynor.
Good evening. It's been a long time since I had to do any public speaking, so just bear with me. First and foremost, I would like to thank God, for without him, none of this would be possible. I would also like to thank my parents for raising me the way a child should be raised, by putting all my faith in God and always giving my best effort in anything I may endeavor. I would like to, I would like to always give my best effort no matter who we were playing. And those 3 games that I did miss, it was gut-wrenching. I would like to thank my coaches throughout the years, teammates who have to deal with my demanding ways, Jeff and the athletic trainers who had to deal with my 150-pound soaking wet, frail body at the time, and teachers, staff, and fans who rode the roller coaster of up and downs of emotions with me throughout my academic and basketball career. I would like to take the time to recognize the people sitting at my table, since Coach said he had a whole bunch of people he wanted to recognize, so I'll just do the ones at my table right now. My parents, Al and Leslie Gaynor, my wife and son, Tanisha Gaynor and Christopher Gaynor Jr., my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, Jardia Gray and Maya Sumter, and Coach McGillen, one of many of my college coaches who helped me get to this podium today. All of these people, and even everyone in this room here right now, played a pivotal part in my success on and off the court. I began playing basketball for one reason, and that reason was my big brother. I was fortunate enough to have a big brother whom I could look up to my entire childhood. Someone who would take the blame for me, stick up for me, and someone to set a good example for me. Many people don't know this, but I wore the number 10 because of my brother. That, and it was easy for my mom to make shirts just utilizing one number. Like I said, it's been a long time, but just bear with me. Other than beating Notre Dame in 2007, the moment that I will never forget while playing basketball at Winthrop was the Big South Championship my freshman year. My grandmother, whom I'm extremely close to, passed away a few days prior, and I had to make a decision. Do I play in this game or do I go to my grandmother's funeral? After speaking with my grandfather, who instructed me to play in the game, I played my heart out, even though I didn't play that long due to a blowout against Charleston Southern. My brother was the only family member to come to the game. As everyone rushed the court, I hugged him, and we both cried at half court, knowing that my grandmother was smiling down on us. That is a moment I will never forget here at Winthrop. As you can tell, family is a big part of my life. Whether it's a text from my high school coach, Coach Muse, who couldn't be here today because they had a game, go Spartans. My wife giving me an encouraging word, Michael Jenkins, Mantoris Robinson, or Chad DeWitt texting me every day and being in my wedding. Coach McGillen and Andy Kettler joking about how I'm not 150 pounds anymore. The baby shower that Miss Syke graciously held for me after my senior year. Coach Molinari always invited me to the beach house with Dave Friedman every summer, except for last summer. My parents, who never missed a game they absolutely could not make, and seeing my son every day after I pick him up from school. These moments are the feelings that I get every time I get off of exit 82 on Interstate 77. I look at my wife and son and say, I'm home. I can always come to Rock Hill and know that the Johnsons, the Beers, Sipes, Dixons, and other many families would always open up their homes to me and my family. I would like to thank Coach Marshall, Peel, Grant, Molinari, McGillen, and Coach Dixon for believing in my talents. Coach Marshall and Coach Muse, my high school coach, were very similar in their younger years, as they both scouted me prior to arriving to their schools, and both telling me that I would be the starting point guard of their teams as soon as I arrived. One thing that is unmistakably obvious was their passion for the game, supreme confidence, and demand for you to put forth your best effort. Even though my mom might not have liked the way her baby boy was being scrutinized at that time, if you ask her now, she would say it was for the best. Maybe. As for Big Al, he scrutinized me more than the coaches, especially after a missed free throw, As you can tell, like Mike said, it took all 123 games for me to get to 1,000. And Coach telling me right before I walked up here that, and I remember it too, that I wasn't going to come out that game because they tried to sub me out for a standing ovation. I'm going to shoot another 3 to get there. However, looking back on the 4 out of 4 championships, I will take all the constructive criticism, as that is what made me who I am and what made our teams champions. My wife, Tanisha, my love and college sweetheart, I would like to thank you for your love, for being there to support me, for believing in me, for pushing me, and always seeing the bigger picture. Chris, my prince, I promise you, I promise you that I will give you every tool, encouragement, and all the love that Mimi and Poppy both gave to me so that one day you can reach your goal and be up here standing on this podium to give your Hall of Fame speech. Lastly, I would like to thank all my teammates, for without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. All the assists, the steals, the points, doesn't matter, because the brotherhood that we gain off the court is what truly matters. And I would also like to thank one of my best friends while I was here, and I was just so humble and gracious enough and blessed enough to be able to know him and call him a friend, call him a backcourt mate, DeAndre Adams. For many of you who didn't know him, he was another point guard on the team while I was here at Winthrop, who met his demise my senior year, which was very tough on me and the rest of our teammates. With DeAndre, we had a special bond because we would push each other in practice. However, we still had a pact that we would go easy on each other and save some energy. And I think everybody who did have the chance to meet DeAndre would agree that he's a special guy. Point guards, they're measured by assists and wins. So this is my final assist. This Hall of Fame induction is for everyone. It's for my family, for my teammates, coaches, staff members, teachers, training, coordinators, Jeff, you and all your guys. I appreciate everything. And most importantly, for the fans. Gaynor out.